Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
From humble beginnings to full-service grooming, daycare, and academy hub, Hound Therapy's journey is one of passion, grit, and a whole lot of fur. Shannon and Tanya share the origin story behind their mission of humanity over vanity and how it continues to shape every snip and tail wag. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, back in the studio today with Shannon and Tanya, professional groomers at Hound Therapy. Shannon and Tanya, how are you both today?
We're amazing.
Good. Amazing. Well, I've honestly been looking forward to this one. Today, we're learning how Hound Therapy came to life and grew into the heart of North Texas pet care. Let's get a story time from you both. Tell us how Hound Therapy evolved.
I'm going to start since I'm the older one and started way before. So welcome. Hello, everybody here has heard this story multiple times and they continue to as we get new people in and out. So I started out when I was 15 years old, loving animals, as a lot of people do. And I decided that I wanted to groom my dog. I didn't really know much about dog grooming at the time. So I just put my dog up on the counter and I took my home scissors and I was like, I'm going to do what I can do. Her name was Peaches. And I did an okay job. I then kind of moved out later on towards getting a job, moving out. Where am I going to work? And I ended up with a lady named Claudia who owned a grooming salon and said that she would teach me to work if I worked for 1 year for free for her. And I was like, okay, almost 16 years old. And I thought, well,
what's a year?
Yeah, what's a year? It's just a year. I've got nothing else to do. And so that's what I did. She showed dogs. So I kind of was thrown into the show world there. We'll speed up to I ended up buying her business. I did work the full solid 365 days for Claudia. And she made sure that, I worked. By 6 months in, felt I could run her business. I knew everything. And here I am 40 plus years. I'm still learning multiple things on, how we've gotten from there to here. I took a little hiatus, became a barber. I got a barber's license. I stopped dog grooming and I did men's haircuts solely with straight razor shaves. And I did that for 15 years. I ran that business and it was very rewarding for a long period of time. But it clearly became, as I got older, very clear that it was not going to sustain me, physically, just being able to stand there all day and be able to there's no other me. I'm one person. And as I get older and stop cutting hair, it's not like they're just going to mail me money in the slow mail. Hey, we feel bad for you. Here's our haircut money. So I decided in the middle of COVID to open up and go back to what I knew best, which was dog grooming. I do hair very well, always have, and I love what I do. Opening in the middle of COVID was eye-opening. My barbershop was shut down by the government, and dog grooming shops and boarding facilities were not. And it was just absolutely amazing to me that they could take my independent business and say, look, you can't go into work. You can't earn money. And they didn't send me a check. I didn't get a bonus, or I was a self-employed. It was difficult. It also just so happens I was in the middle of a divorce through all of this. And so I got divorced, moved out of my house, got a new home. I got a dog, Whiskey Time, who's a Vizsla, and she was 7 weeks old when I opened my shop in here. Went through construction, got an SBA loan, just so many things that were against me. And I didn't have a groomer. I was turned down from anybody who wanted to open a shop for me because dog grooming is associated with boarding and associated with fleas and poop and smells. Yeah. We're very clean in here. We don't have a problem, but I also didn't have a concept. So everything was against me just from here I am, uneducated, 15-year-old trained by some other groomer, who did everything wrong in my first business. Because what did I know? I was 16. I was 18 when I bought my first business. And
you were 18 and knew everything.
And I knew everything.
All of it.
So it was a transition for sure. Then I very quickly learned how hard it is to, have an employee, not just to work myself, but how do I have an employee? How do I have an employee who's specifically trained to do exactly what I do, that has the same passion, that believes that, hey, look, hard work is how I progress in life, and being bitten and getting peed on, it's not for everybody. And we are unregulated. So It's not like I can pull from a student, or where I'm not well trained with social media. I wasn't any of these things. It was just a hurdle restarting over again in my late 40s. So it was hard. I turned 50 in my first year of opening here, and it was difficult.
Yeah.
Tanya came in, my son, who was laid off of work. It really quickly turned into a family business. I never, ever would have looked at you 7 years ago and said, I am going to have a family of dog groomers. And this is what my life is going to be. In my never in 100 years would I have said that. And that's exactly what we are. This is Tanya's my daughter-in-law. She's married to my oldest son. She moved away when I first opened this business and wanted to get into grooming. Also, like me, started, I think, in the same fashion I did.
I was also worked for a retired poodle show groomer and kind of learned the ropes through that. I was actually offered her business. I didn't take it. I came back here. But I originally started out in nutrition, and then it just went from there.
You worked with animals, decided you liked it, wanted to continue to do it, and kind of faked it till you make it, like a lot of groomers do at a grooming facility. Luckily, we're close. And and I told her, she would call and say, how do I do this? I told her I knew how. Or she started literally with my old grooming equipment that was retired.
I still have your first scissors.
So it was nice to have it full circle. And now we are putting that into an academy where we're training new young minds that are kind of like where we were, 40 years ago, 10 years ago. And they're on their journey of, how do I get started into this awesome world?
Like we were, but better. Yeah. They have support.
They do. And our school is a year long here. We take a full solid 13 to 14 months because we have some break, but it is a 1,500-hour course on how to groom, how to fix your clippers, maintain good clientele, basic business. It's a lot crammed into 1 year, but compared to the 3-month and 8-week classes that people are offered, it's been hard. But we have a family. People come from all over the world here, and they drop their young children off, or we feel responsible. We help them find jobs. We work very closely with a lot of other grooming shops and vet clinics so we can help them transition into work. We help them with resumes. We have people who have left corporate who have come in here. They're just tired of corporate. And we do a lot of consulting for corporate businesses that, are transitioning into adding grooming, because yes, it can be lucrative. We don't do this for the money. We do it because we love it. Yeah. I love hair. I'm good with hair. I love animals. I don't mind being bitten. And I feel like what we do really matters. And I've always believed that doing the best that you can has served me well. Staying true to who you are. And we try to keep that alive, and hopefully for many years to come, keeping that, that type of a mentality in what is a lazy work from home. I'm only dressed from the top up. There's a lot of differences in what we do. It's hands-on. It's not going to be replaced by AI. You have to learn it. You've got to be able to talk to people. You've got to be able to have a one-on-one, and it's a lot to learn. So we love what we do. It was a struggle to get here, and we're still
definitely we're still learning every day.
But we try to improve every day on what we already know. And that's, I think, kind of our goal. So we do appreciate all of our beautiful clients, our lovely dogs, and, everybody who sticks and stays with us, and, the banks who loaned us the money when we didn't have credit, and all of that stuff. It was hard. It was very difficult.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing about your journey with us today. It sounds like you certainly have come a long way, but you've kept the heart of the business throughout the entire process.
We tried. Makes me cry.
leaving a yeah, leaving a legacy for your family and with pets forever.
That's the goal.
Well, Shannon and Tanya, it's been a pleasure again having you on, and we will catch you on your next episode. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.